the time has come. It is time to return to our roots and relearn the ways of the blade once more. In today's video, we'll be going over Swordsoul and seeing how well it competes in Season 32 of Master Duel. You might just be surprised how well this deck could do now. I know I was. So let us empty our minds and return to mastering the sword once more. What's going on, my friend? This is SynchroGuy, and today I'm bringing you my updated version to Swordsoul on Master Duel. It's been a while since I last played this deck, but I figured now would be a good time to pick it back up, especially after looking at some of the top meta decks from Master Duel going on currently. Like, if you take a look, some of the most popular ones are decks like yugioh, and then there's of course the new release Voiceless Voice, that was a kind of given, and but also surprisingly branded. At least that's what Master Duel meta says. But anyway, after doing some thinking, I think Swordsoul now has a better chance at competing in this season compared to last season. So I decided to pick it back up, and let me tell you, this deck still got it. I managed to secure a 9-win streak after picking it back up. Like, wow. And let me tell you, those duels, they were not easy. I think it's better actually if I just show you what I mean. But before we get into the replays, if you want to check out the deck profile, then be sure to stick around towards the end of the video or click the timestamp in the description below. Don't forget to also hit that like button while you're down there, comment down below what your favorite thing about Swordsoul is, and subscribe so you get more awesome Yu-Gi-Oh related content. Alright, let's get into the replays. Alright, so in this first replay, we're going to be going first against a Spright deck. So we're going to start off activating Longyang since we already have a hand, and we're going to make the Baron so that we've got some protection from stuff like Nibiru. Then from here, we're going to normal summon out the well, after we do burn damage, of course. And then go and go for the typical Chi Chao play, and of course we'll use the Ashuna to hit the Ahara play, because from here we'll be able to get the Blackout and use Blackout on the Monk we'll be summoning, so that way we don't have to use it on our Chi Chao. And of course, off of the tide, we set the Horror Tangy Spirit here, so that way we can bring the Monk back and get an additional pop if needed. Yeah, so already this is looking pretty good. So our opponent from here is going to start by they're going to start by imparting our Baron name, Frick. Okay? And then they're going to summon out the Gishki monster, so trying to get another 2 body bar. We're going to negate that, and they special summon out Spright Blue, and as soon as we do, we're going to use Blackout to try to pop them and keep them off level 2s. And they use their Smasher to give her a Baron, that's fine, but we can just, they can sip it here, and as you can see, this sword deck is still very good. It is very powerful. Alright, now to the next replay. Alright, for this next replay, we're going to be going second against Salamangreat, and from this, and one thing this is okay with is because, well, okay, so first off, we're going to try to use Effect Builder to stop the Salamangreat, because since the normal summon, it didn't sound like it had a great hand, but unfortunately, they have the call by to stop it. Crap. But that's fine because we have Nibiru in hand, and this is also kind of cool. They added a counter onto Nibiru, so now anytime our opponent subs, it'll count, and we'll know exactly when we can trigger the Nibiru. So I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, they're gonna pop up a little bit, and as soon as they summon that Weasel, we're gonna drop the Nibiru, because I feel very confident that they didn't have anything else after I stopped that, and yeah, that turned out to be the case. Nice. Now for here, we're going to do our typical play. Hey, we're going to special summon out the Moye, reveal, go for Chi Chao, go search out for the long one, and of course get a free draw, always nice. And we're of course going to try to go into, well, the Baron name, but unfortunately our opponent has their own Nibiru. Crap. Oh boy. But that's fine because we have our Tangy monsters to compensate for stuff like this. This is why we play Tangy. In case our opponent has Nibiru, we still have plays. So thankfully we were able to go to unbox CS, spend back the Nibiru, and then we're gonna add back the Ashuna while we have the token field before we get rid of it. So that way we can go into our Shaman of the Tangy and bring back the Chi Chao. Now, then for here, we've got 2 negates on board, which, I mean, I guess a deck like Salamangreat, it might be better to actually have, like cards we could just pop their, that can pop their stuff, but this is fine, we work with what we have. So, our opponent's going to go off for a bit, they're going to search on Hailing, search on Jaguar, and search on C. They also go for Sabia's Wicked, I don't know why, because here they just go straight into Promethean Princess, I mean, alright. Well, they're going to try to special summon back a monster, but we're going to negate that to keep them going into the Salamangreat Pyro Phoenix, and successfully, they don't have any other follow-up, so they're just going to pass him here. On our next turn, we'll look at this top deck. We drew into a freaking Emergence. This is cool, because now we'll add Protus here, because this is just going to be insurance in case the worst imaginable thing happens, and when you know the worst imaginable thing happened. But that's fine. Since we searched out Proto Host, he's our backup plan. We're going to summon something called Fire Harrier, and from here we just take the game. Yes. And this is also really cool because even if they did somehow manage to survive, since we were able to successfully resolve Protos, they were not going to be able to do anything much next turn. So we were seeing another turn on our next turn. This Swordsoul is so cool. Alright, on to the last replay. Alright, for this last replay, we're going to be going second against a Mathmech Maxx deck. Heck, so we're going fast through here because this is going to take a while. So as you can see on opening hand, we didn't open it very much. We only have like a one interruption, that being the troll. So yeah, this is gonna be probably be a bit tough, especially because of Mathmech Maxx. So yeah, they're good. So they go exist on the Albermeth. Or I don't know how to probably pronounce it, but after they search out circular, we're gonna drop the draw because if they didn't already get the trap, we're gonna stop that from happening. Okay. But yeah, from here they're gonna link something to Transcode Hawker, and the typical play. Hey, they get a bunch of free bodies back, and from here they goes into Firewall Dragon, Dark Fluid, Neo Temple, Terrace Hurts, I believe. But yeah, and then they just set us up a card, and I'm thinking this is not looking quite good. And they also drive Max 8, like we could have passed here, but if we do, we're pretty much dead. So we had to take a chance. So we're gonna special summon out this shooter and gonna use it to bounce back the second card in case it was the Mathmech trap that they already had in hand. Thankfully that wasn't the case. So now we're gonna try to do our typical play, but they have more interruption because Max C. Hey, but thankfully we're still able to do some plays. Unfortunately, they drew to another effect. But this is where our backup plan comes out. Typhon. Now, normally we would use I was sure to get rid of the Dark Fluid, but since it was protected from targeting, that wasn't going to work. But Typhon does not target, so we were able to bounce it back. And then, yeah, from here we're kind of okay because we got him to beer hand. So if they do manage to start popping off, we got ways to stop him. But apparently, I had nothing left, and from there we take it. All right, we took the backseat challenge, boys, and we came out on top. Let's go. All right, let's get into the deck profile. Alright, here's our current Swordsoul deck list, and we are playing 2 copies of Effect Veiler, 3 copies of Joran Lockbird, 2 Adhara, 3 Maxi, 3 Ash Blossom, 1 Shathana, 3 Moye, 2 Chaya, 3 Ecclesia, 3 Longyan, 2 Vishuddha, 3 Ashuna, 1 Nibiru, 1 Hodos, 1 Pot of Desires, 3 Emergence, 2 Kolbai, 1 Crossout, 3 Imperm, and 1 Blackout. Now, then onto the extra deck, we're playing 1 copy of Yazi, 2 copies of Baxia, 1 Draco Berserker, 1 Animus Personal Raisin Dragite, 2 Xixiao, 1 Xiaofeng, 1 Baronade, 1 Chengying, 1 Sinister Sovereign, 1 Typhon, 2 Monks, and 1 Shaman. Now, as you can see, we're playing a 43 card deck here, and this is mostly because I enjoy this version right now because I've got 15 different hand traps here, and that seems like a kind of a lot, but this is so we can see at least 2 hand traps in our opening hand. And the reason for that is because for this kind of deck, having 2 hand traps to try to stop our opponent is very kind of helpful. Just 1 hand trap alone is not enough unless it's like super impactful. Like we have to time it right. Again, with this amount, we have a better chance of seeing 2 hand traps in our opening hand, which gives us a better chance of trying to slow down our opponent so we can see our turn and do our plays and take the game. And it's kind of ridiculous, but honestly, this is still really fun. And like the interaction is so much fun. Just seeing what can happen. And of course, you just gotta make sure you play your cards right. And if you play your cards right, you will be rewarded beautifully. Right now, I would give this Swordsoul deck a 79 out of 100. Rogue tier status. This is mostly because I have yet to actually get this deck to play against like some of the top meta decks I mentioned. I still stand by my word that I believe this deck can potentially hold a candle against these decks because we got stuff like Protos and such now that we have a better chance of trying to stop some of these decks and have a better chance of winning our duels. And again, with this version, we are able to see at least 2 hand traps in our opening hand most of the time. So I think we have a good chance of trying to take these duels against some of these meta decks. So once I get more playtesting in with the deck against some of these top tier decks, I'll be sure to bring an updated video on this list. So be sure to look out for that. Anyway, my friend, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have/had an awesome day today.